Thank you, Madam Chair, and Madam Administrator. Congratulations on your new post, your new assignment, and I know you'll do great. I want to follow up on some of the comments of my colleagues made previously, and I have similar issues, obviously, in my district. All of us that deal with hurricanes and floods and natural disasters, it seems like on an annual basis, seem to have the same problems. Obviously, there are two towns in particular I want to highlight and I want to mention, and if you don't mind, if you can help me out with these two in terms of getting their reimbursement. It's been mentioned, I heard mention about small counties, when these small towns too, when they're putting up millions of dollars, 10, 14, $20 million, whatever it is, and they're set to be reimbursed, through the public assistance program from FEMA, but they don't get the reimbursement for a year or more. I know when Hurricane Matthew hit in 2016, I had some communities that didn't get reimbursed for a long, long time. Our North Carolina DOT was not reimbursed for their expenditures for far more than a year, as I recall. And in this particular case with Hurricane Florence, the town of Surf City and the town of Topsail Beach, both of them are still waiting for pretty significant reimbursement. Town of Surf City, approximately 10.6 million, and the town of Topsail Beach, pretty significant sum as well. Would you mind looking into those two in particular? Both have waited more than a year. I believe they submitted their request March a year ago, and of course, obviously, that's been a little more than a year since then.
Absolutely. I don't obviously know the specifics of those two, but I'm happy to get the details and get back to your team and your staff with the status.
I appreciate that very much because when they don't get those reimbursements, it's very hard to plan and prepare for the next storm. And like I said, in 2016, we had Matthew, then 2018, we had Florence, and 2019 and 2020, we escaped disaster, but very, very narrowly. And I expect 2021 to make us a little nervous as well. Following up on one other issue for the town of Topsail Beach, they've submitted updated LIDAR data, but the revised firm maps don't reflect those updates at all, and it has some pretty substantial impact for more than 400 homes there. And the town makes a very, very good case that the data that was used for the original set of maps is just not accurate. In fact, really off. Would you mind checking into that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I'm not familiar with the specifics, but I will have my team get back to you with what the status is of that.
That would be great. And then one question for me, just to help me understand. You've got risk rating 2.0 that was mentioned previously by a colleague that I happened to hear his question. And how does that overlay with, you're supposed to have these new flood maps every 5 to 7 years, and it takes forever to get them done. And then here you got risk rating 2.0 that's set to go in effect. Is that just going to override the preliminary flood maps when you get those finalized, or how is that going to work? I'd just like to know from an educational standpoint.
I do not believe that it overrides. Risk rating 2.0 is really looking at the individual risk for each person's home. And the flood maps are a part of that, but it goes into other pieces of the risk related to their home as well. But we can certainly get a better definition and clarification for you so you understand how the two interrelate.
Okay. Well, I've got more than 400 homes there on that particular beach that basically would not be eligible for flood insurance, and it's all based on faulty data. And I want to get whether it's risk rating 2.0 or whether it's the latest version of the flood maps that directly affects them. I'd like to make sure that at least those who are putting in place these policies know what the correct data is.
Absolutely.
Thank you, ma'am.